My name is Stephanie Rodriguez. I am the Knowledge Manager at the Clubhouse Network headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm the Knowledge Manager of the Clubhouse Network. I focus on all our internal and external knowledge sharing around the Clubhouse learning model. So our founders, Mitchell Resnick and Natalie Rusk, actually started a Legos theme program at what was formerly the Computer Museum here in Boston, Massachusetts. This was a week-long study camp that really focused on building through Legos. And there was so much interest with the youth that youth kept coming back week after week to try to continue to take part in that pilot program. In that moment, Mitch and Natalie realized that there's so much potential here, there's so much interest that you really want to dive into not just computer-based learning, but exploratory and playful learning. Mitch and Natalie are based in the Lifelong Kindergarten at the MIT Media Lab, and their focus is really on how youth can use play to learn. And so one of the first things that they decided to do is, how can we make this something that is permanent and ongoing, right? So it's not just a one-week adventure, but rather a place where youth can come in and continually learn and explore with new materials and technology. The Clubhouse was founded in 1993, and by 1994 we had opened our second clubhouse, also in Boston, Massachusetts, and then subsequently our first international clubhouse in Germany. So with those two clubhouses already in the works, they decided that it would be a good idea to develop a network of these clubhouses to better support and to better help build consistency across all of our global networks. And now we have over 100 clubhouses in over 20 countries. Yeah, the Clubhouse learning model is really unique because it is a learner-centered learning model. So really what we focus is helping young people find their own ideas and their own interests and help cultivate those into the projects that they end up doing in our Clubhouse space. So youth are coming in and exploring a variety of technologies, from 3D printing to game design to music production to film and photography, and incorporating that with their own interests to book projects that are ultimately driven by their own passions. Yeah, it's important for folks to explore their own interests because when someone is working on something that is of interest to them, they're going to work longer and harder and more diligently on those projects, right? They're going to push it to new levels and find new insights that maybe wouldn't have been thought of if they lacked interest in those areas. Yeah, you know, really in our future, there's so much problem solving that we have to do, and being able to gauge what's working for you, what's not working, what are some of the issues, you know, these are all things that Clubhouse youth are doing in every aspect of their work, right? They are experimenting, they're tinkering, they're redesigning, and ultimately they are developing their own capacity to be better problem solvers. And being a problem solver, being a creative thinker, and being adaptable, mentally flexible are all skills that are going to carry with them through their careers and beyond. So the 4 learning principles in the Clubhouse Network are learning by design, fostering respect and trust, building community, and following your own interests. All of those are really important because for a variety of different reasons. So starting with following your own interests. Youth are going to work longer, harder, and more diligently on things that they're interested in, and they're going to ultimately take those projects further. So building a community is really important because when youth feel safe and secure in the environment that they're in, they're more willing to take risks and try new innovative ideas than if they weren't in a community that supports what it is that they're doing. So learning by design is basically saying that youth are active participants in the entire learning process. So they are prototyping different ideas, testing them with their peers, exploring new approaches, and then going back to the drawing board for anything that doesn't work. And we think that this is a much more deeper learning experience than just passively receiving that information through a teacher or another form. It's important to build a community where there's respect and trust at the center of it all, because if you feel that they are valued and heard and respected, they're going to be more willing to take risks and share their ideas and contribute to others' ideas. And ultimately that's going to help them develop more innovative approaches and get more insight from their peers. So in the Clubhouse, one of the things we always model is failing forward. You know, we know that the first time you try something, it doesn't necessarily you're going to get it right or that you're going to do it correctly. So we encourage our participants and our youth to come into the space to fail, and once you fail, what did you learn from it, and share those learning experiences. We actually have a failure wall here at the Clubhouse where we share projects that are either incomplete, didn't work or didn't pan out, so that people can really see the broad scope of ideas and prototypes that come in any creative process.
Reasons that the Clubhouse is so compelling as a place for young people to come together is that it's based on a learning model where young people are empowered to explore and express their ideas and interests through creative self-expression.
Mostly on a daily basis, young people come in and decide what they want to do that day themselves, and we just follow their lead. It's a really different way from how schools operate.
The Clubhouse Network gave youth an opportunity to explore at their own pace, at their own terms, and more specifically to explore the things that they actually have interest in.
We just went to this program, we were like, oh, technology, that's cool. But we found like a global network of like brilliant people and amazing opportunities.
It's a way to keep them off the streets. Like they have a place to go and just like, do positive things and help themselves.
If they need a safe space to be at, that's the safe haven to go to, since sometimes school can be a little bit rough.
The young people that come to my clubhouse are incredible, amazing individuals. They are teachers, they're artists, they're creators, they're makers, they're figuring themselves out and teaching everybody around them at the same time.
I can work with youth that are genuinely interested in what they want, as opposed to me sort of forcing them through it or coaxing them through it. This is, again, purely based off them, and that's really been like the biggest difference.
After going to the Clubhouse, I knew that I wanted to do something with technology. It led to high school internships at Microsoft, college scholarships, me going to college.
They welcome everyone in with open hands and make you feel safe, feel like family.
The Clubhouse helped me pursue my passion by actually believing in doing what I do.
They push you beyond your limits, and they make you feel like you can do so much more.
If I need anything, any instructions, any help, I just go to her and ask her.
I'm looking forward to be the next big top movie producer, so the technology overall, just me being in the space and having the ability to use it is what's really helping.
They're able to express themselves, to realize their dreams, and I think most importantly, find a place to belong and be part of, and to make positive relationships with adults and with other teens. It's just been a wonderful ride.
So the Clubhouse Network has over 100 clubhouses and community-based organizations all around the world that focus on working with underserved and under-resourced communities for youth ages 10 and up in most places, typically within the ages of 14 to 18 in our clubhouses. Yeah, we work with a variety of organizations all across the world, from libraries to museums to schools to community centers and really government organizations as well, and everyone in between. The Clubhouse Network also helps and loves working with educators and out-of-school time educators all over the world to better bring their creative learning model and creative learning spirit into their own spaces. Because even if you're a community-based organization or school-based center, there are so many ways that you can tap into a young person's interest and help them kind of bring out a lot of these wonderful traits and the characteristics and these insights into the work that they do each day. Out-of-school time education or after-school programs are really important because it brings a new lens to education that isn't always necessarily covered in school. In school, there's a preset curriculum, there's an educator in the front of the room that has all the information, and students are just passively receiving information a lot of the time. When they come into after-school programs, they are not only often interacting with youth that might not be from their school district or might not be from their neighborhoods, they're already meeting a broader scope of youth, and they're interacting with a lot of new different activities and programs and projects. So there's a lot of flexibility, I think, that after-school programs have that might not always be possible in a traditional school setting. Yeah, technology has certainly evolved and will continue to evolve, and is now actually more integrated into our lives than ever before. You know, I always say that youth might not be entering a career in technology, but they're always going to be interacting with technology no matter what career they go into. So we're finding that by helping connect our youth with state-of-the-art equipment, we're really helping better prepare them to some of the real technologies that they're going to be coming across in their futures. You know, there have been an evolution in the capacity of cameras and the capacity of phones and all of that, leading into this new virtual metaverse, let's say, and there's unlimited potential. And what we're finding is our youth are now continuously seeing the potential in what we can do and how we can expand our work. Yeah, our approach to works is it really is, while the technology is a vehicle to it, really at the core of it is helping you find their own interests and their own confidence and to take that with them. And ultimately what we believe is when youth are more mentally flexible and more able to take failure with stride and continue on and kind of build that grit, that's ultimately what's going to determine the success of their future, is their ability to shift perspectives and bring in new opinions and find alternative approaches for problems that they may have come across.